Alright, you can take a second to think about this ahead of time if you want to.
Okay.
So, do you record shows on some sort of digital recording device?
Yes, I do. I record quite a bit of shows on recording.
Okay. Cool. What kinds of shows do you record?
I usually record a lot of the shows that I can't watch in general, like usually Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy, just a lot of the shows that are continuous series. So yeah.
Do you prefer to watch live or recorded television?
It really depends on where I'm at. If I have the time, I do like watching it live. But if I don't, if I'm doing a paper, working, or out, I usually like to have them recorded so I can watch them later.
Yeah, because like you think of like awards shows and like seeing things on Twitter, it can like ruin everything. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Are there types of shows or television events that you would not record?
I usually don't watch the Grammys or anything like that. I usually like to watch, I don't watch a lot of TV in general. I usually just watch the ones that I usually like, Supernatural and stuff. Oh, that was a terrible answer.
It's okay. Do you like to watch television alone or with people?
It really depends. I'll watch TV by myself, but sometimes I like the whole group atmosphere of where we can all laugh at something, or if there's something scary going on, somebody can make fun of something, so I'm not petrified in the corner. So I usually do like watching it by myself as well as with people.
What do you find are the benefits of watching recorded television?
I find that it's much more convenient to watch recorded television. Like I said, with having papers, being at work, or doing things outside of being at home, it's much easier to have recorded television in order to watch my shows later on in the day or in the week.
If your recording device were to break, how would that change your viewing experience?
I'd probably have to find another outlet in order to watch my show. I'd probably go to my friend's house to watch the recorded show. Or I have Comcast, so I would look on demand as well, but I like having it on the DVR. So.
Think of how television worked when you were a child. How has watching television changed since the DVR was invented?
Television definitely has changed since the DVR was invented. I mean, people now can watch it anytime that they want, whenever or wherever they are. You basically, before when we were in the 90s and when we were kids, it was very difficult. We would all sit down in the living room or wherever the family room was, and we would watch the television show together. But now that DVR has come, we can all watch it by ourselves or with a group, or it's definitely changed the perspective of family settings.
Cool. That's all I have for questions. That last answer was really good.
Ready to ride.
Alright, cool. So, do you think that younger generations take the ability to record for granted, and why?
I definitely do think that they take it for granted because they have the ability now when they're younger to actually record a show, not always entirely watch it, and then they can come back to it at any time they want. When we were younger, I mean, my mom used to run upstairs and tell me that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was on. So we all had to watch it, sit down, and actually literally watch it. And so I feel like they do take it for granted a lot because they didn't have the what we have now. Is like we're coming into that, and they are in it.
They don't even know what it's like.
They do.
First world problems. Typically, America is seen as a more individualistic culture as opposed to like Asian cultures and like African cultures that are more communal.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that the DVR has contributed to this individualism?
Well, now it it's very true that it's more individual, an individual type of thing. Now that if there were two shows on at the same time, people would have to be segregated, or they would just have to watch one show and then maybe watch the other show the next week. So now we can watch one show and record the other show and watch that an hour after. So it basically makes it so this is a terrible answer.
It's okay. You want to try again?
Yeah.
Alright. So just, I mean, think about it for a second. You don't have to answer right away. You know, like, only the strong survive, like, every man for himself.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you were in China or something, that's, like, not how it flies. That's why, like, communism works in other countries, and America sees communism as, like, an evil.
Yeah.
Quote, you know.
Exactly.
So, I mean, yeah, just, like, how it's just become the whole experience itself of watching television has become like, even though yeah sometimes you will get together and like watch it with people, for the most part people are like, it just gives you so much more control as like an individual,
right?
And you know,
yeah, I was answering it the way I didn't want to answer it.
No, it's fine. So if you want to record, America is seen as an individualistic culture as opposed to other cultures that are much more community based. So how do you think that having the ability to record has contributed to this individualism?
I definitely think it has contributed to the individualism of the U.S. and for that reason it's due to the fact that, you know, we can record a show and we can also watch a show. So we can watch it by ourselves. We don't exactly have to have the whole family watching it in order to watch one show at one time and one show at the other. So it's less of a group setting as more of like, well, I want to watch this show and you don't have to watch it, but I'm going to. And, you know, back when we were younger, I mean, we would have two shows on.
Ready?
Alright.
So, do you record shows on some sort of digital recording device?
Yes, I do use a DVR to record television shows.
What kind of shows do you normally record?
I have like my shows that I like to watch, so I will typically record like, I like to watch like Workaholics or 30 Rock when it was still on. I mainly watch a lot of like comedies, like sitcom stuff.
Do you prefer to watch live or recorded television?
It depends on the show. If it's something like, obviously if I'm watching the Bruins, I want to watch the Bruins live. It really doesn't make any sense to watch that later on, or like an awards show or something. Not that I watch them, but it would make more sense to watch those live, because if not, you're just going to kind of get ruined for yourself. But when it comes to things like, you know, like sitcoms, I don't care about recording that sort of stuff, because it's not going to really like spoil the surprise for me.
Definitely. Are there types of shows or television events that you would not record?
I wouldn't record things that are live in the sense of like sporting events. Like I would want to watch the Olympics live. I would want to watch the Bruins live. Like I said before, I don't really watch awards shows, but I wouldn't want to watch those recorded either.
Do you like to watch television alone or with people?
It depends. Like me and my roommate have shows that we like to watch together. So that's what DVR comes in handy for, is she'll be at work or I'll be in class or something, so we'll record it and then we'll come together and we'll watch like Californication together or Dexter, because we both like those shows.
What do you find are the benefits of watching recorded television?
Well, obviously getting through the commercials is a great thing when you have DVR. You get to skip watching all those ads that nobody really ever wants to see. What else? I don't know what else.
Next question then?
Oh, hold on. Actually, no. I'll come. We can edit this later. Another good thing about benefit of watching television that's recorded is that you don't have to be there, obviously. You don't have to be there at the time that the show is on, so you can go out and do something else. Like Saturday Night Live I like to watch, but I also like to go out on Saturday nights. So I'll record Saturday Night Live and then watch it on Sunday in the afternoon.
If your recording device were to break, how would that change your viewing experience?
If my recording device were to break, it be a lot harder to watch TV that I want to watch. I would have to just either watch whatever is available, or I'd have to find some other way of like finding the show without having to actually be there at that specific time. I mean, it would change a lot. You take it for granted.
Think of how television worked when you were a child. How has watching television changed since DVR was invented?
Well, when you're a kid, it's, I mean, granted, you didn't really care so much about exactly like what you were watching, but I don't know what I'm trying to get at right now. I made up these questions too. I'll give you a second to think about it.
No.
It's like when you were a kid. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
No.
Let's just skip that one.
Okay. Do you think that younger generations take the ability to record for granted, and why?
I think that younger generations definitely take DVR for granted. I mean, they don't know anything else either, so there is that, but they don't realize that it gives them so much more viewing freedom, I guess you could say, with having the ability to watch whatever you want, whenever you want. It's definitely different.
Typically, America is seen as an individualistic culture. How has the DVR contributed to that?
The DVR gives you a lot more viewing freedom. So it allows you to do things on your own terms. And I mean, America is individualistic. It's not communal like a lot of other cultures. So if you're in a situation where you want to watch something but somebody else doesn't want to be watching it and they want to watch something that's at the same time, they don't have to. You can record their show and they can leave the room and then you can watch it on, on your own terms. You don't have to watch it together because there is the option to always go back and see it later so you wouldn't be missing out.
Okay.